be able to hear it?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Rover Sports call-in show tonight. Our number is at the top right there. Call-in show tonight. Seems like the volume is working. And got a couple of people in the chat. Alex, the elephant of Agnimatic, which is a great name. Thank you. I'm here with Bruce the Sports Doc. Thank you so much for hosting. It means the world to me. I appreciate having you in here.
Just welcome everybody into Rover Sports, talking about all sports. Certainly Super Bowl. A lot of people thought it was a terrible Super Bowl. I don't really share that opinion. I kind of like defense. I'm kind of old school. But why don't we take some callers?
I thought the Super Bowl was fine. I think people are just complaining. They're just whiny little people. Last year there was...
And we're whiny big people.
Well, there was no defense last year. And last year was a track meet. At least this was a football game. Last year was like a flag football game. And I didn't like last year's as much. I know you're an Eagle guy. And I care about who wins the Super Bowl more than just seeing an entertaining game. I can't be like an impartial person. I can't be like one of those fake football fans that just likes it for the football game. I usually have to have a rooting interest, and
you got one. You had a rooting interest.
Yes,
yesterday.
the last Super Bowl I didn't care about who won was probably Cardinals Steelers, and that's when I was like barely in middle school. So, I wanted the Cardinals to win, but I didn't really care that much if Kurt Warner won another championship. But I didn't like Seattle. I didn't like Jim Harbaugh when he was with the 49ers. I was rooting for his brother. I was rooting for Peyton Manning every single Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, the Manning family. What about you? Who have you rooted for in past Super Bowls?
Well, we went to the Packers-Steelers game. I think it was in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I just found myself rooting for the Packers. From Pennsylvania, so we usually don't root for the Steelers, being an Eagles fan. So that was really fun. And it was fun rooting for the Packers, and they're nice fans, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, did you hear about that? That's a really funny comment by Argo. Chris Senior, one giant rebuttal. All these guys are great people. I might mod them up and give them wrenches so that they can control the chat. If there's any trolls, they're allowed to control the chat. There was a funny moment by what Argo is saying. It's when Brady, openly he kissed, and this is popular in Greek culture and in other types of cultures. He kissed Robert Kraft on the lips, and I would never, even though we're obviously kind of related.
Are we sure he kissed him on the lips, or
I wouldn't even feel comfortable with you doing that. Maybe just on the cheek, but he kissed him on the lips, and.
Was it Brady kissing him, or was it a mutual
it's kind
kiss?
of a nice moment. It's kind of a nice moment, but at the same time, it just is definitely different. It was full out on the lips. What do you think? Violation?
I didn't see that. I think it's a violation. Do we get any opinions here? Any comments?
A lot of people are laughing at the kiss. I think that it's more appropriate to kiss your son than your 70-year-old owner.
Sounds like a call.
Hello, you're on with Rover Sports.
Tom Brady is gay. It's confirmed.
Who is this?
The number one Jets fan.
He said Tom Brady's gay.
Ronaldo.
Is that the comment?
Tom Brady's gay. He's married to Giselle. That's the opposite of gay.
But maybe Giselle's just his
beard.
Is that what you're saying? Giselle's just his
cover story. False narrative.
Russell Wilson's, Sierra actually is not fully a woman. She had she actually was born with a penis. Actually, Russell Wilson's girlfriend Sierra. But Tom Brady is not gay. Wait. Tom Brady has I think Giselle is so hot, and a lot of people think Giselle is not hot. It's fashionable. I heard a lot of people saying Giselle is not hot at her Super Bowl party yesterday.
She's fine.
Yeah, she's hot. What do you think? You think she's hot?
Definitely hot. She's great. Did you see when she stood up in the booth?
Oh, yeah.
I had to actually change my clothes.
I want to fuck her right there.
Oh, but people hate Tom Brady. I know that this caller hates Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's a joke. Honestly, I hate Tom Brady with a passion.
Where do you live? Where are you in New York, or where are you?
I'm from New York.
Is this Ronaldo?
Yeah, it is.
It's Ronaldo. Big Jets fans. Yeah, Tom Brady and the
Hey,
Jets
and I have a question
Yes.
for your dad. Okay, can you hear me? I was wondering why as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, that you support your son being a Giants fan? I'm honestly like a little confused.
That's a great question. That's a really long question. Well, you know what? I tried. I kind of gave up on him being an Eagles fan a while ago, and my wife. Unfortunately, I'm outnumbered. My wife is from the New Jersey area, North Jersey. My daughter is a fan. So, in other words, I got outnumbered. When my son was young, he got he got a lot of Giants gear. But to his credit, he's gone to he's gone to a ton of Eagles games, not necessarily by choice, but it's interesting that you're a Jets fan, and I guess we watch a lot of football together, and he's actually on the radio here in Philly, so he's probably. But I do know a few people actually on Philly radio who are not Eagles fans. Al Thompson actually is a Giants fan. So he does it. In some ways, it's easy for him to be impartial. One thing we're trained not to do is to say we. I'm not a member of the Eagles, so I don't say we. Although I'm wearing a Sixers shirt right now. But so tell us about the Jets. Do you think the Jets are going to have a rebound?
Okay.
Tell us about that.
Number one, we're making the playoffs next season, and I'm not just saying that because I am a fan. I will give you facts. Okay. We have the top 3 pick in the draft. We're going to take best available player. We're probably going to get Quentin Williams, okay? Once we have that, another cornerstone for our defense to help Jamal Adams. Then we're going to go sign Le'Veon Bell. I know this is best case scenario, but you just have to do best case scenario at this point before our free agency starts. You sign Le'Veon Bell. Maybe even get Dante Fowler, I don't know what his name is, for the Rams. He's made great plays. He's a great football player.
Yeah, he's really good.
Flowers.
Defensive player?
Defensive player, yeah, it's Flowers.
Yeah, defensive player for the Rams.
Patriots or Rams?
I think it's Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, is he his safety, secondary player?
Yeah, he made some
I thought it was a Patriot.
Impact player.
The one thing I'm going to say to you is, Ronaldo, is that Adam Gase didn't get along with Jay Ajayi in Miami. He shipped him out for a 4th-round pick. Do you think Le'Veon Bell brings too much drama to an organization that has Greg Williams, Adam Gase, Mike McCagnon, Sam Darnold, who's a very young player in the NFL? I think you're bringing in a lot of dramatic people. I think Le'Veon Bell will bring a lot of attention to himself if the Jets are to sign him.
That's a great point.
Yep.
That's a great point, but look at the LA Rams. I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, even though they got spanked in the Super Bowl, they went all out. Borderline character guys everywhere. Marcus Peters, the Dominican Sue, all these guys, and what did they do? They showed up in the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that much. They made plays when they needed to.
Right.
They did. Defense really played well.
And all the free agents. You're absolutely right. I mean, I fought Talib and Dominican Sue. Talib grabbed Michael Crabtree by the neck. Sue has stomped his cleat on people's heads, and they functioned fine.
Yeah, I don't think Le'Veon is a dirty player.
No.
He just totally.
It's hard to as a running back. What running back is dirty?
Well, he wore out his welcome just because he was holding out the whole season. He totally jerked around the Steelers, and I think, kind of like Kyrie Leonard did to the Spurs, like the same kind of thing. He held out.
Yeah.
So I think that left a bad taste. But you know what? If he can start new with a team like New York media, he'll be real.
I want to ask Ronaldo one more question before we get to a great staff of callers. Ronaldo, thank you so much for calling in. Are you happy that the Super Bowl is over, that this season is done, and that this game and the Patriots, the whole thing is just over?
I was done a month ago. These playoffs, these games, you just get used to it as a Jets fan. You're not in the big games anymore. Your season's basically done. You're just watching just to watch, and it wasn't an entertaining Super Bowl. The Patriots didn't lose. They've won 6 since I've been alive, so I've just gotten used to it at this point. I refuse to be upset. I refuse to be mad. I'm just ready to be better and show them up next season.
Yes, sir.
But thank you for calling in. I'll talk to you guys another time.
Yeah.
Go Jets.
Good
Thank
talk
you
to
so much, Ronaldo.
Thanks for calling in to Rover Sports.
Go ahead. You take this call.
Sure.
Take the call.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, no, I'm coming on. Someone, I answered the call. Move.
Okay, welcome into Rover Sports. Thanks for calling.
Why are you moving this way?
What's the difference? Okay, sorry. He's
Yes.
very superstitious.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, welcome into Rover Sports. Sorry about that.
Thanks for letting me on.
Victor?
Yes?
Your name is Victor. Okay, great. Welcome into the show.
What do you like to talk
Yes.
about tonight?
I would like to talk about two things. First of all, we are all disappointed that they didn't play Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl. So that's one thing.
What song is that? By what artist?
Is that Maroon 5?
It was on SpongeBob.
Oh, it's a SpongeBob. You know what that is?
Not really.
It's a cartoon. You never heard of SpongeBob?
No, I know it's SpongeBob, but I'm just too old for that.
Yeah. I barely know that either.
They said that they were going to sing the song there, and then they teased us, and they'd even play something they should have clipped.
Is it a rap
They're
song?
supposed to sing it. No, it's like it's kind of an older song, but it's about winning like a football game. It's like perfect for it. And then like the creator died, so it's supposed to be a tribute to them. They ruined it. Like there was like a petition and everything.
Okay. What's the second thing you would like to have seen?
I would like everybody in the chat and y'all to go subscribe to PewDiePie.
All right. Thank you so
Just
much.
make sure you go do it.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it
much for
calling
the
in.
call.
Thanks for the comment. Have a
Thank
great night.
you for the call. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay. So, let's talk about
What did you think of those
interesting
two
comments.
assertions? Yeah.
You know what it is? It just shows you, because we really try to get, really try to know our stuff in sports, but somebody hits us with music like that, and we're just completely at a loss.
Yeah.
We had nothing to say.
I don't like
No
being
comments.
online. I like being Amish and out of pop culture altogether.
Well, guess what? If you're taking the calls nationally here at Rover Sports, you're going to field a few musical questions like
Oh
that.
yeah, but listen, the guy made some good points.
No, he made some great points. I just
Guy
couldn't add to
made
it.
some good points.
There were some great points.
How bad was the Super Bowl yesterday?
I personally didn't think it was that bad because I thought I'd like to see defense. You know what I really liked in the Super Bowl? Nobody's going to say this. The refereeing was great in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
They let the guys play.
Yes.
They let the guys
Well, you
play.
know what's amazing? The Super Bowl was so surprising. It was fantastic. Everybody thought that Sean McVay was an unstoppable force, that he was the best coach in football. And he was exposed by an average defense in the Patriots. It was wonderful.
You know it wasn't
because Sean McVay deserves to have some adversity. He's a 33-year-old guy. He's got everything he wanted in his life. It's time for him to bounce back. And the fact that the Patriots held that Rams offense, one of the greatest offenses ever statistically, to 3 points. Everybody thought that there was no defense left in this league, and the Patriots showed that defense is not dead, and it was an inspiring and an incredible performance. And I was shocked that the Rams didn't get any offense. It was a beautiful, beautiful game in that regard because it shocked the mind. I love going into a game. The worst movies are the ones that are predictable. My favorite movies are like The Usual Suspects, the most unpredictable movies. And that was an unpredictable game that just rocked my world in terms of that defensive performance. Yes, hello. Welcome into Rover Sports.
Oh, dang. I didn't even think I would get in.
Well, you just got the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We have like 1,000 callers on the line.
But you did it, man.
Well,
So what's up, man? What do you want to talk
honestly,
about?
Oh, sorry.
What would you like to speak about tonight?
I actually wanted to speak about my favorite team, Denver.
Oh, yeah. He wants to talk Denver Broncos.
I want to hear Denver Broncos.
I want to talk Broncos.
A lot of buzz, a lot of hot stove talking about the Broncos.
Yeah, let's do
Go
it.
right ahead.
So, what do you think about the Case Keenum situation, in your opinion? Like, should we assign them to a 2-year or just a 1 year?
So the question is, and my answer to this is that Case Keenum, Case Keenum is absolutely horrible. You're never going to win any games with him. His arm is weak. He doesn't scare any defenses, and he's one of the worst 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And you have to draft Drew Lock out of Missouri and get Keenum the heck out of there. That's my stance on Keenum. I can't stand Case Keenum. I think he's holding back this team. You have Von Miller, Josie Jewell. You have good players like Shane Ray. You now have a great defensive coordinator as your head coach. I think you're a quarterback away from being a respectable team in that division again and possibly getting a wild card or beating Kansas City. But what do you think, Bruce? What do you think about Case Keenum?
I'm not a Case Keenum fan. I agree the defense, Denver defense is solid. It's a storied franchise, and I'm just not a Case Keenum guy. And there's a little buzz here that in the Nick Foles conversation, the Broncos are in the Nick Foles conversation. I don't know, you being a Broncos fan, what do you think about Nick Foles?
Well, honestly, I feel like he is one of the clutchest players right now, if you think about it, because he carried a very injured Eagles team to almost being the Saints. So I would like him in Denver, but if you remember his Ram days, they're horrible.
Yeah, it's true. I think Jeff Fisher certainly, but he was in. No, we're talking about Foles. Foles had a nice initial stint in Philly. He went to Kansas City, was a serviceable backup. I think Foles is a product of the system here in Philly, and I'm not sure John Elway will be excited to have Nick Foles. He's very steady quarterback. Not that Case Keenum is flashy. What are your thoughts?
The thing is, I look at Nick Foles, and I don't think Foles has the ability to ever move outside of the pocket. And Nick Foles needs a very clean pocket. I like Nick Foles' arm strength. Nick Foles is a quiet leader. He's a leader by example type of player. And I think for Denver, it's more appealing for John Elway to select Drew Lock at quarterback, because I think that Lock is perfect for your city. I think he's a great kid. The Denver fans love him. And Nick Foles, I think that I don't think he's going to be very good when he leaves the Eagles, because the Eagles have Alshon Jeffrey. I think Doug Peterson, shown last night by Sean McVay, Doug Peterson is a once-in-a-generation head coach, one of the best offensive minds that we have in the sport, maybe of all time. He flat out owned owned Bill Belichick. And I look at Nick Foles. I don't think Foles is that great. I would definitely draft a quarterback, Drew Lock. That's what I would trade up. Denver, I would trade to the number 5 pick with Tampa Bay, and I would get Lock immediately. And
will he be the first quarterback selected, do you think?
I think Denver will likely select him first, yes. He's gonna, but what do you want? Do you want Foles or a rookie quarterback?
Well, my opinion, you have to really, I would say, I'm not a big fan of tanking, but if you tank for the next 2 seasons, you could get a guy from Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, and then you could also build like a good line around him, some weapons, and then you already have the defense. So that's
right.
You know
but listen,
it sets a risk though.
Oh my
with 32 teams to tank for 2 years, Denver is not. Their fans aren't going to tolerate that.
Von Miller might get older. Von Miller might get worse.
I just think it's hard to tank 2 seasons, and for one player, it's just a lot.
And
I lived through tanking here. I'm wearing a Sixers shirt tonight. And tanking didn't pay off for us. I think it's bad karma. We drafted a lot of bad players. Yeah, we have Embiid, but a lot of guys, Noel, Michael Carter-Williams, a lot of those guys. And tanking sucked. Being a season ticket holder for the Sixers, paying $10,000 a year to watch a team really sucked.
And if you're around the Denver franchise, you guys are a proud football franchise, one of the best franchises in the NFL. Definitely the best fan base, one of the best ones. So, okay, it looks like our stream is back on good. Hey, thanks so much for calling in, though. I really appreciate you calling into the show, my friend.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for
a little station ID. Who are we?
Yeah.
We're Rover Sports. We're here at ESPN Philly. We have a show Wednesday nights here. Basically, we cover college football, basketball. We will be covering the Sixers-Raptors game tomorrow. It's a national game. I think it'll be pretty exciting. And it looks like we got another call. Here we go.
So audio failing?
Where is it?
Audio could be failing.
That sounds like somebody's calling in. We'll not be able to take the call. Just take the call. Here we go. Audio is not failing. Let's go.
Someone says you have a scowl on your face, Doc.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I'm serious.
You're angry. You're angry.
You're angry.
You're like a Elijah.
Oh, there's people are
You're
trolls.
like an Indian chief, man.
Scouts.
You're just angry. Hello. What's up,
angry.
Rover
Hi.
Sports?
Hi, how you doing? I'm calling in about the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Well, we actually are. We like the Bills. We have a lot of.
I
Bills
love
fans.
freaking Bills. I love Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is fun.
Josh-
Give us
yeah.
your take, man. Are you buying the Bills, or are you going to have a good year next year?
I'm hesitant to make a stand on that right now. I wanted to call in about FanDuel had the Buffalo Bills ranked last in odds to win the Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
I'll comment on that. I think that's. I'd be upset with that if I was a Bills fan. Arizona Cardinals are dead. I think that Josh is going to be a good quarterback. Defense is good. I'm a McDermott fan. Being here in Philly, he was a good D coordinator for us. I just think the game is very cyclic, and I'd be a little bit pissed off if somebody said that about my team, comparing them to the Arizona Cardinals. I'd be upset personally.
What I'm going to say to you, sir, is that I think Buffalo is actually a sleeping giant next year. I think you guys can make a leap towards actual playoffs. I think you could start talking playoffs in Buffalo. Now, you need to fix that offensive line, which is atrocious, but the defense is so damn good. Jordan Poyer, the guys, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, I think you have the best secondary in the NFL, one of the top 3 best secondaries. You're going to be getting a better wide receiver. Josh Allen had no receivers to throw the ball to. The cupboard was bare on offense. And by the way, you lost no coaches to other teams. Brian Dable's coming back. I know the quarterback coach left, but you're not losing any coaches. And I think that there's a lot of continuity. And I like this Buffalo team to make a run at a wild card. What are your expectations for this team next year?
I agree with both of you. I was really pissed off when I heard that we were tied with Arizona. I mean, that organization is more in the dumps than we are by far. I like the quarterback coach we just hired, that Kevin Dorsey from Baltimore, I think it was, or Carolina, yeah. Mm-hmm. The offensive line is going to get a lot better through the draft, the wide receivers as well. I hope we get N'Keal Harry or the DK Metcalf. I think we get the AFC East gets a lot of shit, and that's just because of the Patriots. Patriots have run the whole league for the last 2 decades, and everyone just talks shit about the AFC East. I really think that it's the whole league right now. But that's it. I'll watch. Thanks for your time. I love the show. Have a good night.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Great call. Thank you so much. So the thing is, if I were Buffalo, I think that there's receivers you could get in the second round that are good, and you should draft offensive line.
By the way, this draft is loaded. You spent time in Mobile, Alabama at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the wide receivers you observed, some of the seniors.
You know, Isabella is a guy who's like a Julian Edelman. I mean, a lot of the best receivers are juniors, like DK Metcalf. The guy from Mississippi, also A.J. Brown. Mississippi has 2 receivers that are going to be drafted in the first 2 rounds. You have Harry, that's a good player, but Hakeem Butler's probably my favorite wide receiver. He's from Iowa State. He's about 6'4". A lot of tall wide receivers. Tall wide receivers are kind of making it back in the NFL because there's been a lot of short, fast receivers.
Kind of like Julian Edelman types?
Well, a little faster, like Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kiki Qt.
Yeah, a lot of little guys. Deshaun
Jackson. On the Eagles, I'm not going to say Darren Sproles, but like guys in the slot are big weapons. You know, Will Fuller, just little speedsters. And now we have big guys. But why would you take a wide receiver in the first round? Look at what the first round produced. Corey Davis, who we love Corey Davis.
We love Corey. He's a good friend of the show.
He's a good player.
You know what? He was hurt. In fairness to Corey,
he
had a hamstring injury the whole first year for the Titans, so really didn't get off the pine. But came back with a nice rebound sophomore year.
But then, do you even know who Mike Williams is on the Chargers?
I know he is. Do I think he's underperforming? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. He was drafted number 7 overall. How about John Ross? Do you remember him from Cincinnati? He broke the record for the 40. He broke Chris Johnson's record.
He was injured most of the year.
Yeah, he was injured last year.
He's a little guy who was injured. So
he's not doing anything. He's getting Tyler Boyd's doing much more than John Ross.
That was a bad pick.
Yeah, look at the first. How about DJ Moore this year from Carolina? He was just okay. You know, you look at a lot of first-round wide receivers. You got to get an offensive lineman if you're Buffalo. And Dalton Reisner is a fifth-year senior, and he played at Kansas State, which is Bill Snyder's system. Okay, so he's from Wiggins, Colorado, a really small, like oil field town. He is perfect to be an offensive lineman in the NFL.
They do. The Bills definitely need offensive line help. You got to protect the quarterback, Allen. You don't want to have him get killed. And but again, I think we're buying the Bills.
And find wide receivers later. I think that the Bills have a very good chance to make an AFC wild card. They're not. I don't think that they have the confidence to beat New England. And nobody beats New England, so they're going to have to get a wild card.
How long has it been since they beat New England? I think it's been a drought. It's been a while, a few years.
I can't remember the last. I can remember the last time. Remember when Brady was suspended for Deflategate and Garoppolo got injured? They had Jacoby Brissett and Rex Ryan beat him 17-0 in Foxborough.
Jacoby Brissett was horrible.
He was horrible for the Patriots, yeah, but people still think that he has a chance in the NFL, even though I don't see it. He's too slow to play in the NFL. But let's talk
Let me just do call a number, everybody. We're Rover Sports National Show, all sports, mostly football. We're certainly talking about a lot of college basketball. We're here. We're covering Sixers Raptors tomorrow. Sixers are on the upswing, number 3 in the East. Our call number is 484-504-9848. It's a toll-free call. Give us a call. Let's talk some sports. Beautiful night here, Monday night after Super Bowl. A lot of people hung over, but a few people are actually listening.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think that the Super Bowl was good for drinking, and especially if you were a Rams fan. And I do feel bad for the Rams fans that went to the game.
You're doing a lot of drinking if you're a Rams fan watching 3 points?
Yes, because they're doing drinking to drink away their sorrows from an awful performance.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
One of the worst Super Bowl performances ever. But the great news about Jared Goff embarrassing himself on a main stage is that if I ever get to the Super Bowl, I won't be nervous because I will never do as worse as Jared Goff.
You'll never just throw a flutter ball up. You'll never miss a guy who's 20 yards open in the end zone. You'll never do any of that stuff.
Looks like Jared Goff
you won't
can
get
barely
sacked
hold the ball.
where they touch you and you just fall to your knees. If you're going to get really sacked, you got to at least fall to the ground.
Jared Goff reminds me of myself when I play quarterback because he just plays small. He plays very scared, and I've played scared in sports. And I know what playing scared
really
is.
Small for a 6'4"
Oh my gosh! And listen, Todd Gurley, he might not ever get that chance to play in that game again, and that is what is so.
Todd Gurley's
sad.
His knees hurt. Obviously, he wouldn't admit to it, but.
Yeah,
that wasn't just
John Niner. What a great comment. He doesn't feel bad for the Rams because he's saying that the New Orleans Saints had a 20-yard field goal to beat the Rams. And what are the odds are that if that call was made, that the Saints would have won that game? Maybe a 95% chance.
I believe so. Certainly, one could argue the Saints had their chance, but they threw a better
in overtime. That's a 50-50 crapshoot, The Chiefs have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And I don't like that argument either that, we should award this participation trophy culture and give both teams a chance with the football. I think that the overtime is fine, but would you like to see it go to college overtime?
I personally would, in the playoffs, not obviously the regular season. I think, number one, the regular season overtime is too short. They went from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. Now you're getting all these ties. If you remember, the Browns started off with the tie. And it's funny because with the tie, when they were 0-1, that was the best start they had in 15 years.
For Hugh Jackson. Yeah. Hey, listen, I wanted to ask you this question, okay?
Yep.
I believe that official made a terrible call in the Saints game. But I don't believe that there should be any rule changes to NFL officiating because the games are too dang long, and I don't want every pass interference to be reviewed. We'd be here for 5 hours. I think that ref was just the exception. I think he was the worst ref that we've ever seen in a playoff game. And first off, we've played how many playoff games? We've played about 10 to 15 playoff games. We've never had an issue like that at the end of the game. That was a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence of a call making a difference in a game like that. I don't believe we should change the system over one exceptionally poor official. That's my
You know what
point.
my opinion is?
Yeah, what's your opinion?
I agree with you, actually, ironically, to argue against your point you just made. The pass interference in pro football is the most punitive penalty because you can just throw it up. I like the college game. What is it? Is it 10 or 15 yards?
15 yards.
I think 15 yards is plenty enough penalty. So I'd like to see pass interference go to 15 yards. I also would like each coach having one challenge over pass interference. So you get one challenge, you get one golden ticket, and that way you don't slow the game up. But if there's one really atrocious call, you could review it. So one review in addition to your regular reviews. That's what I would say. Comments, again, we're Rover Sports. We're here in Philly. You have our number. A lot of people are just hungover.
Buffalo Tings makes a great point. If you're a ref, that's going to hurt your ego to review your own work.
Review your own work? Well, you see it anyway. They get everything reviewed. Every scoring, every pass, whether it's inbounds or out of bounds. There's so many reviewable calls, even whether it's a first down. So the spot of the ball can be reviewed. There's a lot of real ticky-tack stuff. So the guys are going to have to get over it.
Alex Sports, welcome to the show. I want to do a little stock up, stock down with you about the AFC.
Okay.
Let's look at the playoffs for the AFC. Kansas City, I think we can both agree that they're going to hold pretty strong, that they're your Super Bowl favorites. They have Mahomes. I think that they're stock perfectly up.
Yep, I agree.
They're the
where
next
they are.
in line.
Well, there are where they are. They're going to be in the AFC Championship. Love Patrick Mahomes. He's so exciting. I think that would have been a great Super Bowl. I bet, we haven't seen the ratings for the Super Bowl, but I've got to believe it's down. I just know a ton of people who turned off the game or watched the halftime show and didn't like it. A lot of people, not that we're going to speak about the halftime show, a lot of people didn't like the halftime show.
Well, I want to go into that briefly. We've both been at movie theaters where the crowd is unbelievable. And you see a movie, a comedy, and everybody's laughing, and you think that the movie is just fantastic because you're in the moment.
That's true.
It's wild.
But if you're in an
Everybody's
empty
laughing.
movie theater and you're the only one laughing, it's not as funny.
Or the movie, you watch it on DVD, or you watch it on VCR, of course, not Blu-ray. We don't have Blu-ray.
You don't watch an 8-track?
You watch it back, and you're like, damn, this movie is not that funny. I saw it in a theater. It was the perfect night, and that's what happened last night. We were with all these, college-age girls, and they were singing to Maroon 5, and it masked how horrible the performance actually was.
You know what it was? You're right. Again, there was like 30 college girls singing who actually sang pretty well.
They did.
So it was kind of like Sweet Caroline. You're not really even hearing Neil Diamond sing, but you're hearing everybody sing. I didn't hear the fidelity, but I heard the fidelity wasn't great. Like Adam Levine didn't sound that good. Did you hear that?
What do those other people do in that band? It seems like they do nothing.
They just air guitar pretty much like you would do.
This is my advice for Super Bowl halftime show. Never have a guest, because a guest ruins the flow. Guest ruins the damn flow. They have Travis Scott. They have Big Boy. You're moving all these pieces. It's hard enough to execute because you only have 1 minute of your song. I think U2 should be the band every single year. If I can have one band do it, it would be U2. Just all the hits.
They're such a great stadium group, though. Certainly, Lincoln Financial Field is a big place. It's not easy to sound good there.
Yeah.
U2 sounded great.
And Springsteen.
Yes, well, Springsteen will sound good anywhere.
Springsteen. And also, New Orleans should be the home every year because the city is perfect.
Because Bourbon Street.
It's so small and it's so
discovered
perfect.
Bourbon Street this year.
Oh, AC/DC never played yet?
Yeah, we got to get them while they're still alive.
I think it would be really loud. I think a lot of America would hate metal, unfortunately.
But that's what would be great about it, though.
I would love AC/DC.
Could you imagine Roger Goodell saying, "Okay, this is a group we want to announce."
Yeah.
AC/DC.
I just want to troll.
Great.
I want a
That'd be great.
troll artist, So, oh man, I have a couple in
Comments?
mind.
Any more
but
good
let's talk about.
Thanks for the comments.
Let's talk about the post. Let's talk about the AFC. I think that the Houston.
So we talked about the Chiefs. We agree they're not going
I
to
think
suck.
the Houston Texans. This is kind of a hot take. I think Bill O'Brien is on the hot seat. There's a chance that the Texans might implode next year in the AFC South, and it might just boil over, and Bill O'Brien might get fired next year.
I think so too. I think J.J. Watt, Clowney's obviously young. J.J. Watt, he's got some wear on him. He had a pretty decent year this year, but I think I agree. I think the Texans are going to be down.
Yeah.
How about the Titans, a team that kind of reminds me of the Texans? So
I
Titans
think
is kind of a
that
weird
that's
team. That's a real up
I
and
think
down
that
team.
that's an explosion team too.
So you think they're gonna
I
come
think
up?
that Vrabel could bomb out quickly.
Oh, explosion in the negative.
In
way.
a negative way with Mariota, uncertainty. Mike Vrabel, I don't think he's that great of a coach. I just think he's a personality acting as a coach. I don't think he has that much substance.
He's a great player. They always say that great players are not always good coaches. So he was a great player, Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, he was.
But
he was.
You know, you look at the Titans. They're inconsistent. Offensive line inconsistent. Corey Davis had an up year. Mariota, is he ever going to be that guy? I mean, is he going to be that guy?
I just don't know if he could stay healthy. I don't know if he could push the ball down the field. He always has a new coordinator every single season. So I look at Marcus and I have a lot of concerns. I want to talk a little bit. You want to do a couple more AFC stocks up and down before we get to Carson Wentz
also,
and Nick Foles?
We'd like you guys to call in. We had some great callers tonight.
Yeah.
We're pretty easy to talk to. I know everybody's hungover after Super Bowl. A lot of people thought it was a boring game. Some people are just sick of talking football, but
some people are sick of it. We have some Metallica advice. I think a rapper like Drake would do well at a Super Bowl as well, where you could dance to the music. Like, just have Pitbull in Miami next year. Just have Pitbull.
Miami would be good. I can tell you we're going to be in Miami next year.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. I was at the last Miami Super Bowl was 7 years ago. I think I told you this. There's great parties. I went to a Jeff Gordon party, and Scottie Pippen
cool
drank,
guy.
and we had bottle service with Scottie Pippen.
Jeff Gordon.
So
is
I advise
cool.
everybody to come to Miami. It's a great party town.
Well, I'm a little worried about Miami because it's very spread out. It could
That's
be a
what's good
little
about
bit.
it.
It could be disorganized.
It's big enough to hold that.
The stadium is okay. I think the stadium's fine.
We went to the stadium. We covered the
I
Orange
liked
Bowl.
it, but the town is a little bit big for my liking. Miami. It's a little crazy, a little chaotic.
Well, I'll tell you the worst I've ever been to was Jacksonville. Such a small town. It was complete gridlock. But some of the best towns. We've been to Dallas. Dallas is a great town because you have no parking issues. Do you remember we got right down to the Orange Bowl?
That is a big town.
There's a lot of highways. So we got right down to the Orange Bowl. There was no traffic. Dallas, I think I mentioned Dallas is a great town.
Dallas, Arizona is a crazy.
Arizona is really easy to get to.
I love Arizona.
The stadium is like in the middle of nowhere, so it's very easy to get to.
Yeah, I want to live in Arizona for sure. I want to live out there someday. So, yeah, the Super Bowl is a great time. I think it also invites in a lot of bandwagon NFL fans, and it's just a little annoying. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the Super Bowl is dang over. And for me, if the LA Rams would have won, that would have just been brutal. It would have been a very tough pill to swallow.
Being an Eagles fan, again, I'm not a big Patriots fan, of course, but the comparisons between Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, I'm glad we don't have to endure that in the offseason. Now we just have to endure. There's a nice yawn there, a nice delayed yawn.
Nick Foles.
All we listen to is Foles Wentz talk here in Philly.
Yeah.
It's just repetitive. That's what we have our show on ESPN, and we refrain. We often don't take a lot of callers because it's so repetitive, and it's great to have a national audience here.
It is. And you guys can call in again, 1-484-504-9648. We took some good calls earlier. So I look at Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, and I think you guys should keep Carson Wentz. Now, I think Carson Wentz can be a bit spoiled. He looks like a powder on the sidelines. It's not easy when Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and you're Carson Wentz. And listen, Howie Roseman, the thing about the Eagles is that Michael Bennett's on the Eagles, Chris Long's on the Eagles. You have a lot of personalities. Jalen Mills, Jay Ajayi. You have a lot of outspoken individuals. Malcolm Jenkins.
You named a whole lot of free agents. So, talking about a free agent, obviously that's another
Michael
discussion.
Bennett is one of the most outspoken. Him and his brother are always in the news. We're getting a call. So that's what Howie decided. He decided the locker room can handle these guys, and who the heck knows what happens. Welcome in the Rover Sports. Thank you for calling us tonight.
What's up?
How are you? Say your name and what do you want to talk about tonight?
I'm Alex Sports. And how did you think Baker Mayfield did this season?
I can answer that. I think he's tremendous. I think he took a franchise that was just in the dumps, and he energized the whole city. Really exciting. 7 wins, almost made the playoffs. Big Baker Mayfield fan. Are you from the Cleveland area, or are you a Browns fan?
No, I'm a big Giants fan.
Okay. Well, what do you think
Well,
about Mayfield?
I think Mayfield should have won Rookie of the Year. I think that what he did in Cleveland was sensational. Nobody has gone into that city and done anything. I think Baker Mayfield is on pace to possibly win an MVP in a couple of seasons. And this kid is just so talented. He's such a good quarterback, and I can't say enough good things about him.
So you think
his leadership
you were
is
taking him
exceptional.
over Saquon?
Looking
Rookie
back
of the Year?
on it, I would have even taken him on the Giants over Saquon because Baker Mayfield is that good of a player.
I don't know about that. I mean, we got a great running back on the Giants now. I mean, we're in the search for a quarterback now.
That's true.
Right. But Adrian Peterson was a good running back for the Vikings. I mean, LaDainian Tomlinson never got to a championship. So, I mean, now we're looking at replacing Eli Manning very soon, and it's very stressful to replace Eli Manning, whereas Baker Mayfield would have been a shoo-in to replace Eli Manning, and we could have gotten a running back in like the 4th round that would have been a decent running back. I mean, look at the Look at the Patriots. They're trotting out Rex Burkhead, and they're successful. So I get that. I get your point. Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs of all time, or he could be. And why do you like Saquon Barkley so much more than Baker Mayfield? I want to let you speak.
Well, I love the way he approaches the game, and I love his leadership. I love how elusive he can be. I love his vision on the field. I love how he carries the ball. I just love everything he does so well, and he's just a great football player.
I think you're right. He's solid, like he's strong as hell. He seems like he could be durable. The big concern about running backs, obviously, is they don't last a long time, 3 or 4 years. But Barkley is in great shape. He's also a great leader, well-spoken.
Classiest guy.
We're here in Pennsylvania, so
yeah.
Follow his career. He makes some incredibly athletic plays. Like he reminds me a little bit. I'm old enough to remember Barry Sanders. Like some incredible cuts. He can leap. His leaping ability, like he can leap like over players. And,
I love that.
So I guess I have a question for you, being a Giants fan. Are you proposing to draft a quarterback or pick one up in free agency?
Or neither.
Wow.
Or stick with Eli Manning, which is choice number C.
I don't think the Giants are going to get Foles. I think we're going to draft a quarterback.
I think so. Again, we could talk, Spencer, your list of quarterbacks. We didn't talk about Gaskins or the kid.
Gaskins.
Or the Gaskins.
No,
after the combine.
Gaskins.
After the combine happens, I'll get more information about these quarterbacks so we can talk more in depth.
Yeah, we'll be there we'll be there at the combine. By the way,
I want to go to the combine.
Combine is great.
Yeah, meet us in Indianapolis. What's your name again?
Alex Sports.
Alex Sports.
You know what's great about the combine? There's very few media people there, almost no fans. Great access. It's a fun town.
Yeah. Got to save up money. Wake up early for once in my life and make some money.
But the combine is great, and I'm in agreement. We have to see how those guys do.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, what I want to say to you is I want to thank you for calling into the show. I think the Giants have a decent chance of Eli Manning. I love Tua Tagovailoa. I think Tagovailoa is one of the best quarterbacks to ever come out of college. And you've watched Tua for a long time. To come out.
So the question is, will you tank for Tua?
And Alex, thank you, Alex.
Will tank for Tua?
Lose
Yes or no?
0 games.
You mean lose all the games?
Well, he might be the number 1 pick.
Right, so
but if you tank,
have to really tank.
I don't think you could
be
it's
that
impossible.
Bad.
The
You're
organization.
Not gonna be worse, let's face it. The organization's not going to tolerate that. Dave Gettleman is not going to tolerate that.
Well, here's what you can do. You can trade the 6th overall pick to the Redskins at 15 and let them get a quarterback and take next year's 1st round pick from Washington. So then you stack the deck with next year.
Is Washington going to really assist you? You're looking for
you're
somebody
assisting.
in your, how are you assisting them?
Because say they like Kyler Murray or a quarterback this year.
Yeah,
it's a give and take.
Yeah,
and then they can suck next year.
Yeah, but you're asking the Redskins to get in bed with you. You're a Giant. You're the New York Giants.
Why? They're like barely a relative of the Giants. They're like a little
Believe it or
dweeb.
not, guess what? They it's funny how the Eagles and Cowboys are. The Cowboys are the dreaded enemy of the Eagles. The Eagles, the Cowboys don't think that much about the Eagles. It's the same with the Giants and the Redskins. They have a very deep rivalry.
I don't figure the Redskins at all. They're like your college dropout nephew, just brother that can't figure out anything.
But guess what? If you're a Redskins fan, you hate the Giants.
They're irrelevant. I can't even want their games are so boring. I mean, this year the Giants beat the Redskins like 40-0 with the team that we had. I think that the Redskins need to get better.
They lost 2 quarterbacks.
As a Giants fan, I'm almost rooting for the Redskins to get better because that's a decent fan base, and that ownership with the Snyder family and FedEx Field not getting renovated. I want to see the Redskins be good again, so that this league can benefit from a little Redskin success.
I know a lot of people who know this owner of the Redskins, this Dan Snyder.
Yes.
And there's not a single person that speaks well of this guy. And if we have some Redskins fans, and all my friends are Redskins fans, they know they're not going to win until they have a new owner.
I just want a good draft pick in the Redskins. Jay Gruden's a train wreck. We could use that pick, the New York Giants, to leapfrog to the front of the 2020 draft.
I just don't think they're going to assist you to get Tua to get a first-round pick. You think they will? I just don't.
How about the Dolphins can assist you? They're way back in number 13.
Dolphins could. They're in a different division. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I don't care about the pettiness of the division at all. So I'm going to ask you this, because I have my thoughts on this.
Okay.
I look at Pat Shurmur as a head coach, and I see a guy that is way more towards a mediocre, forgettable coach than a legendary coach. What do you think of Pat? What do you think?
Okay. I like him personally. You know, we've gotten to know him a little bit personally.
Right.
I
don't want that to clout you.
To cloud me.
Cloud you.
Cloud my thoughts?
Yes.
No, you're right. I think he's, I don't see he's incredibly innovative. I don't think his preparation is that great. I think he got better. You know, obviously the media relations is one part of coaching. It shouldn't really be, but it kind of is. He was really terrible at the beginning of the year with media relations. I think he got a little more fiery, a little more interesting, a little more New York.
I think he was okay. I think
he got better.
The media was really tough. The media was really kind of pushing him. They were nasty.
They're in New York, but that's how they are. You know, they're going to be like that.
They're nasty fish.
There's nobody nastier than the last head coach you had.
They're nastier fish.
Who's the last coach?
Benjamin McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo he was the worst. He was like a Rich Kotite
jerk.
He was one of the worst.
His head is like a swirl. His head, he's just disgusting as an individual.
Comments. I think you could read some comments. I think some popping up.
Chiefs are 6-1 to win the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, they are. But Ben McAdoo, he made me cry at night because think about having the biggest jerk off in the world as the face of your beloved franchise, and imagine having to root for a person that is a cold-hearted jerk off. Imagine how horrible that is. That you have to defend somebody that is evil. And that's what I had to do with Benjamin McAdoo, and it was there was a lot of cognitive dissonance there. It was like Joseph Stalin was the leader of the New York Giants.
I'm just trying to think, being a Philly fan for a long time, did I ever have a coach I hated that much?
Yeah, and his hair was a grease ball. That's exactly right. What, did he just spray gel into his hair? And his eyes, oh my gosh.
Let me think. I'm just trying to think.
He's like, we have to go review the film. We have to review the film. It's about winning 3 phases.
Is there a coach that's that hateable? Think of it. You could go into any sport.
I think Fisher was kind of unlikable. Let me think. Fizdale's not a likable coach. I'm definitely going to come up with an NBA coach.
I think Fizdale's a fun coach. He's like a starchy. I think he's a really good coach. And it starts
not Pop. No, we got to think of a guy that was a guy that was a very unsuccessful coach.
I think Chip Kelly is here in Philly was the most hateable coach. You just wanted to punch him in the face.
How about the coaches of the Bills?
He destroyed the team. He got rid of McCoy. He got rid of Deshaun Lightning Jackson. He imposed a culture where he monitored these people's sleep. He gave them smoothies every day. He treated them like kindergartners. And he's not doing anything in UCLA.
Hugh Jackson?
He only had 4 plays. You know, there are people in the Browns that hate Hugh Jackson. They think he's terrible. He's a hateable guy.
Remember the Tice guy on Minnesota, Mike Tice?
Tice was great. He got fired because he sold tickets to the Super Bowl. If you remember that. He also took people on a yacht and bought
Oh,
horse
so he was
players.
a likable
He
guy.
so I think that
whenever
makes
you buy hors d'oeuvres or hors d'oeuvres,
d'oeuvres.
whenever you buy horse, you're an unbelievable.
You mean you buy the
human
H
being.
word?
Yeah, but if you ever give horse to another person, you're an unbelievable.
How do you
human.
get fired for that? You should be like promoted.
You should be paraded and you should have a statue. That's what Hugh Hefner did. Well, there were no whores at the Playboy, but who else was a whore person?
We're all whores.
Hugh Freeze. But there's a lot of college coaches that are complete jerks, okay? I don't think Saban is a complete jerk.
Some people think the Michigan coach
I
has
think
some
Jimbo...
Jim is a good coach, but he's got some jerky qualities too.
Yeah.
Would you want to interview him?
No.
I don't think
How
so.
about Jimbo Fisher?
A little jerky. But there's some coaches we love.
Urban Meyer?
Urban could be really tough.
Kirby Smart's tough. Who was the Will Muschamp? No, who was the coach of Florida? Oh, there's some Petrino.
Oh, the other coach.
But Petrino's kind of funny too.
Coach of Florida,
Petrino got with a
the coach
young
of Florida
girl.
who posed naked with the shark.
Oh, McElwain.
He was the
yes!
he was the most hateable coach.
Jim McElwain.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so funny. Mike McCoy of the Chargers. How about this one? Ken Wisenhunt of the Tennessee Titans.
People hated him. You know, I know people who know him and they actually liked him. Just trying to think of other guys.
McCoy or Wisenhunt?
He liked Wisenhunt. He's
Who
really
liked
smart.
Who liked
Wisenhunt
Wiz?
was good. He got them to the NFC Championship,
Who liked Wiz?
but lost. No, he actually. The game we went to, the Eagles.
Cardinals?
Wisenhunt was the coach.
Oh,
of that
yeah.
team.
Oh, yeah.
When it was one of McNabb's last games where they lost that game.
Oh. Well, Fisher. I think Fisher's a decent guy.
He's just a terrible coach. He just.
Oh, how about Mark Trestman, that Canadian snake oil salesman? Remember Trestman? From the Bears?
Bears coach.
Oof.
Yeah, he was not a popular guy either.
Caldwell. Patricia is getting a good reputation as being kind of a jerk when he tells the reporter to sit up straight.
No, he was good. He really, he's interesting.
I like starchy guys. Like Coughlin is not the nicest. He's not the nicest guy either, but somehow it works. You know?
Nice when you met him.
Anthony Lynn is very humble and likable. The who let me tell you who else is a very Bill Parcells is to some was really mean.
But he's just a classic coach. That was the old school days, Bill Parcells really gave people the business. I think that everybody who played for him respected him. Certainly LT respected Parcells.
How about Jerry Glanville?
Jerry Glanville was fun, man. He used to dress in black. It was kind of like Johnny Cash. Johnny Glanville was a very likable guy. Nobody disliked him. Again, that was before your time.
How about Bum Phillips? How was
Phillips
his
was a very
personality?
nice guy, quiet. Like Wade Phillips is a little bit of a quiet guy. He's not that loud.
Yeah,
but Bum Phillips was great. He had the hat and the boots. Classic Houston Oilers.
Oh, what a great one.
Which one?
Todd Haley.
Oh, Todd Haley, such a dick.
Yeah.
No, really. I mean, he was great. He was a great guy.
Got in a fight in Kansas City. Did you hear about that or something?
He was great at Hard Knocks. Browns were really good at Hard Knocks because they were such a dysfunctional group of people.
Oh, they were tremendous.
Bradley, what's that?
Al
Bradley
Davis.
Moore.
Lane Kiffin was kind of rough a little bit. Del Rio, I hear, is rough. How good is Philip Lindsay? Tremendous. Still lives with his parents, so I respect that. Man, this is fun. Just going down the rabbit hole with you about these coaches and everything. Doc,
well, you know what? A lot of people,
tremendous.
we're glad that a lot of people are burnt out on NFL. A lot of people are not.
I
they're
love
not happy
learning.
about the
I
Super
love
Bowl.
learning about like these guys like Mike Tice that ordered hors d'oeuvres.
Greg Williams, what does that say?
Is rough.
He is very rough.
Brian
rough,
Gaming.
but he's funny. I love the rough guys. They're great interviews.
Let's play a fun game now.
Yes.
If you're the coach, do you want Nick Foles or this person? Or the starting quarterback?
Oh, yeah, let's go through
Let's
the
do
Nick
it.
Foles or your starter quarterback.
Jared Goff. Who do you want?
Interesting question.
If you're
I
the
think you
Rams.
got to stick with Goff. You can't put Foles in a Rams uniform again. He will implode. It's like kryptonite for him. So I'll say Goff.
I'm the biggest Goff hater in the world.
So would you take Foles over Goff?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going.
49ers.
Garoppolo? I'm a big G guy.
Big Jimmy G. No.
We're not
Let's
taking
do
Foles.
quick no. Seattle's a quick no.
Quick no.
But Arizona. That's an interesting one.
I would take Foles, actually. I'm not a believer in the chosen one. I think he's going to be a bust.
The chosen Rosen. Yeah, kind of a prickly guy.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to coach him. Dakota Prescott or Nick Foles?
I would still take Dak. He had a pretty good year.
Dak fits that team.
He does.
Washington, we like Foles.
Yeah, anybody. There's no quarterback in Washington.
This is a tough
That's
one.
pretty easy.
New York Giants, Eli or Foles?
I take Foles. Foles is just turning 30, believe it or not. It seems like he's been around forever. But, I would take Foles.
It's tough with the personality, though.
I don't think the Eagles will let him go to the Giants.
I don't even want Nick Foles because that's like a sloppy second, That's like your enemy's like old girlfriend.
Yep.
That's just that. I just don't like doing business that way.
Yep.
So I kind of want Nick to remain an Eagle. I kind of respect.
He's not going to, though.
I respect your territory.
He's going to
remain. What I mean?
He's going to be a Jacksonville
As Giants
Jag.
fans, we need to respect the Eagles' territory in that regard. I think you kind of feel similar. And then we looked. So we did the NFC. The AFC is interesting. I'm taking. I'll just tell you right now. I mean, I know that I
would take Foles
Sam
over
Darnold would.
Tannehill.
Sam Darnold would punch me in the face if I met him in real life. But I like Nick Foles better than Sam Darnold.
I'll take Foles over Ryan Tannehill. How about you?
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
Tannehill is
it's kind
gone.
of a no-brainer.
Interesting one: Cam Newton or Nick Foles?
I would take Nick Foles. Cam Newton, there's something going on with him as far as his psyche. It's just, there's something not right with him. So
I'm still taking Cam.
If I were a Panthers fan, I would take a solid quarterback like Nick Foles. I would.
How about this one? I actually might take Foles over Trubisky. I think that's a good debate. Are you taking Trubisky?
I live here in Philly. I'm an Eagles fan. I'd take Trubisky. I think he's really improved.
You're right.
Had a good year. Solid quarterback. Very coachable.
I got one we can get out.
Nagy was coach of the year. You probably know that.
Oh, yeah, he
was.
Bears. Just like McVay. I like Foles over Dalton, over Andrew Dalton.
I'm not a Dalton fan, so I would take Foles.
Who is a Dalton
I take most people over him.
Dalton stinks. I wish Davis Webb could get an opportunity. You know that?
He's one guy
Davis Webb,
can't catch a break.
he could be a Tom Brady if you just give him the opportunity. He
reminds
reminds me of Tom, the way he checks down, the way he
Davis
throws
Webb,
the
Tom
football.
Brady.
I mean, they're in the same conversation. Davis Webb is going to be an incredible player. I think Davis Webb's going to the Redskins. He's going to win that job. He's going to restore that franchise. I want Webb to get a chance.
You need a lot of restoration with Dan Snyder.
The gritty giant. I want Webb. Where can Webb start? Just give me that. Last minute of the show. Where can Webb start?
Okay. I think he could start at Arizona, believe it or not. I'm such not a Rosen fan.
And Kingsbury was his old coach.
Yep. I think he could.
Yes.
I think he
Get
could.
Rosen out.
I know. I think he could definitely start in Miami, obviously. Washington, Jacksonville. We're hitting all the teams that have terrible quarterbacks.
Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders. I am not a Derek Carr fan. I think
But
he
I
stinks.
like Carr.
He's got an arm that's so weak.
He's such a funny guy.
He's a nice guy. He should be in the booth, with his brother.
Be in the booth. Phil Booth.
In the booth.
Phil Booth.
He's gonna be a booth doctor.
Rapid fire. Should the Lakers do the trade with the Pelicans? What do you think, Doc?
I would, if I was the Lakers, with AD and LeBron and that supporting cast.
Yes.
They're going to unload a lot of their guys, but they got a lot of guys they can unload.
I think the Pelicans should take it. Get Lonzo Ball, get LeVar to New Orleans.
I just don't know.
I like Kuzma, Lonzo, and Ingram. You're not going to get better than that. You're not.
I agree. And I feel better from a Pelicans fan. When you have a star that just wants to leave, that sucks.
Yeah. Mike Morena says Winston or Mariota. I think in a vacuum, Mariota, but Winston has Bruce Arians now, and Mike Evans, and Deshaun is still over there. Winston could be better. What do you think?
Okay, just make one comment. I think
Yes,
Deshaun will be. He's a free agent. He's going to sign elsewhere. I don't think he likes being in Tampa, but I would take Winston over Mariota. There's something with Mariota. It's just he can't get past a certain plateau. I'm not sure exactly why. He also gets hurt a lot. He's banged up most of the year.
Someone said not to get controversial, but there's not that many Hawaiian quarterbacks, and maybe in high school it was softer. Because Tango is somewhat banged up.
There's not many bad Hawaiian quarterbacks. There's just not
I'm
many
just saying
Hawaiian
that they're
quarterbacks.
injured sometimes. Hawaiian from that program over there.
I'm saying I don't think you mean from the University of Hawaii.
No, if you're Hawaiian born, you're a little fragile.
No, you talking about Samoa? Those guys are built out of rocks.
No, the quarterbacks like Tonga Vailoa was a little banged up. Marcus Mariota.
Tonga Vailoa, you know what he did? This guy underwent a foot fusion with plates and screws and came back two weeks later to play the playoff game. That was unbelievable. So I'm a Tua guy.
You can't get me.
You can break a bone. Doesn't mean you're fragile.
You cannot get me to insult Tagovailoa.
Well, I'm not here to do that.
And I'm not going to do it either. Everybody, thank you so much. It was a great time. Go ahead and listen back. We had some great callers.
Subscribe to Rover Sports. If you like what you see, I'm Sports Talk. We were Spencer G. We're doing a lot of live streams. We're rolling into a lot of pro basketball, a lot of college basketball. March Madness, obviously, is around the corner. A lot of exciting stuff. Thanks to everybody for listening to our stream.
Thank y'all. Take care.